Hello. Before this video begins, I just want to get something out of the way because I feel like some people are going to comment on this. Yes. I tore the paint off my wall or the plaster or whatever. Cool. I did it when removing a shelf. Alright, moving on. Hello. We're looking at AI again today. This time we're looking at an AI model that generates 3D models. So, to start us off, I'm going to just go around the site and look at some of the featured models that have been generated using Rodin. I might have said Ronin before, but Rodin. So as you can see, when we scroll down, they're pretty good. The featured ones are like pretty believable. As you get further, you'll see more and more, and just how good some of these can be, and the variety and range that it can generate is quite large. I mean, you've got chest plate armor, you've got little creatures, you've got skulls, you've got mechanical spiders, more chest plate armor, food, little chibi characters, furniture, television, Deadpool. And as you get further down and more things appear, you've got a Gengar Pokemon here. I think there's a few Pokemon on the way. There's Gary from SpongeBob. There's a gun. There's just all sorts of stuff. I think a lot of these could be usable as game-ready assets, which is really scary because they take like 30 seconds to generate. So yeah, it's incredibly there's Donald Trump. It's incredibly fast. So here we have something that I picked out earlier. This is one of the most liked things of the, I think, past week or so. You can rotate this, look at the full model. The texture work is insane. Like, it's actually good. You know, it even does like the underneath of the helmet and things. You just supply it one image. Sometimes you can supply more. Like if you wanted to get more detail, you supply it with a frontal view, a side view, a back view, whatever. And it'll project those textures on, and yeah, this is what it generated. It is extremely convincing. I think people would legitimately buy this as a cosmetic in a video game. And the geometry and things isn't bad either. You can even get different textures. So this is a shaded texture, but if I wanted like toon graphics, I can change it to toon graphics and just download those. Let's say I want PBR materials with some reflections and things. There we go. If I wanted to check out the wireframe for it, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's basically like a sculpt. Yeah, like it's not bad. It's not an insane poly count or anything. I think it tries to get under 10,000 for every model it generates, unless you specify you want high poly. This is completely believable. If a human being supplied me this for my video game Cross-Planet as a cosmetic, I would have no idea that this was made by AI at all. So I had a go at generating a few things, and I'll show you some footage of that in a second. I played around with multiple different ideas and things and stuff like that. Tried to create some Pokemon-like creatures. So here we've got this like cat, pink cat thing with two tails, which I supplied this image for, which was also generated by AI. And yeah, then you wait a bit and it generates the model for it. Now, it's not perfect. It's a bit weird, this one, with the double tail and the extra coming out of the side. But you can just reiterate several times over and it's not terrible. Some of them are better than others. For example, let's take a look at this pistol that I generated. And then you supply it that and it makes a 3D model out of it. And it's not terrible. Especially if you go with shaded. I found that shaded is often the best looking. And yeah, again, that's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. And let's look at the wireframe for it. Again, not terrible at all. Yeah, completely usable as an in-game model for a top-down shooter, a third-person shooter. Don't think it'd be quite good enough for an FPS yet, because the texture work is only 1K. As you get closer, you can see it's a bit blurry. But, you know, if you're playing a third-person shooter and the distance you see it from is like this, or if you're playing a top-down and all you see is this, you'd have no idea. And if you're going to sit there and tell me otherwise, you're lying. This is completely believable. Yeah. And what's crazy is I tried it again and asked it to create an assault rifle with the same aesthetic, to make it look like it's part of, the same family, the same package, let's say. And there you go. It's very similar. You could 3D generate a pack of 6 weapons, let's say a pistol, assault rifle, rocket launcher, sniper, railgun, and machine gun, right? All with that aesthetic. You can stick that on somewhere like the Unity Asset Store, Unreal Store, Turbo Squid, CG Trader, you name it, and probably sell it for like, I don't know, $10 to $20. And just claim you made it. Now, some 3D model marketplaces have recognized this, and they actually allow you to sell them now. They even have their own 3D model generator. Currently, Turbo Squid, which is owned by Shutterstock, and they've also partnered with Nvidia now as well, have early access to their 3D model generator, and then they allow you to sell it on their store. So yeah, if you're a 3D artist who freelances and makes your main source of income through selling on asset stores and things, I'm sorry, you're about to be in competition with tens of thousands of people who can just 3D generate the assets. Let's just have a look at a few more before we move on. Here you go. Here's that like chainmail armor thing that we've got going on. There it is with Toon graphics. Here it's with a PBR. Not bad. Here's that mechanical spider. Let's do that with some shaded graphics. There you go. This would be really easy to animate as well and rig. You can even ask it for game ready, and it will position them in like a T-pose or a position that's easy to rig as well. And it'll take poly count into effect too when it does that. I mean, look at stuff like this. Look at this chair. It's not bad looking at that image. Let's see how it looks here. Not terrible. Texture work could do a bit of work on the sides here, but it's not terrible, like at all. And where I see this really being useful right now is for people who want to do things like 3D prints, right? If I want to make my own little characters, like my own little pop figures or whatever, like this guy, I could pop this into my Photon 3D printer, maybe 3-4 hours worth of printing, and boom, I'd have this as a 3D model that I can hold and things like that. Texture work again, a little bit of messing up here, but it's not terrible at all. Yeah, all sorts of things going on that you can generate. So yeah, very, very scary. I think some companies may even start, like, I can imagine, I'm trying to think with a business brain here. I'd be like, if I wanted to use this and I wanted to make money from this, I'd be like, right, what product can I make from this? Well, I could 3D print or supply this file to a factory that can make this guy as a little figurine or something, right? And then we can sell him. We could do him as a little figurine. And then you could do a series of them. And we don't have to pay anyone to do the 3D modeling process. We'll just use AI. And then there we go. 3D print him, get someone to paint him. Boom. Sell it for a profit. So there you go. Just wanted to show this off. It's scary stuff. It's going to put a lot of people out of jobs, I think. I think it'll start with freelance work. People selling things on Turbo Squid, CG Trader, etc. Those places seem very accepting of generative AI, allowing people to sell them on those marketplaces. So people that do this for freelance or contracting work, etc., or even maybe have their own business, they will be in competition with tens of thousands of people that are going to start generating using AI. The people that do 3D modeling work in Blender, etc., may just start using generative AI too. There'll be no point in them spending hours hours creating 3D models if they can also just generate it and compete. It's going to all be about efficiency How quick can you do this? The least amount of time possible spent on it, and the least amount of money spent on it. And yeah, that's the way that it's gonna go. And for anyone who wants to comment something like, this wouldn't work as a game-ready asset, you can't animate this, you can't rig this, I've already tried it and it works. So yeah, I think I have some footage on my PC. You can just use Mixamo's auto-rigging or some other competitor and rig it that way, and then slap some animations on top of it, and it just works. And then you can put it into a video game. Yeah, so it's already there. It's happening. And as we know, it's only going to get better. This is just the beginning. When I first recorded this video a month ago, it was much worse than it is now. It's improved significantly in a matter of weeks. So imagine where this will be a year from now. It will have definitely taken some jobs by then. And then you'll get to the stage where game companies start using it. Why do we need a team of 10 3D artists if we can just generate all the models with AI over the course of a few months? Yep. We're already starting to see it. I made a video already on the fact that Activision used AI to make one of the skins in COD, and people purchased it without knowing. Like, it's already here. On a corporate level, these things exist behind private doors, behind closed doors. They're being used. They're only just being available to the public now. We are steps behind what companies that have millions and millions of dollars have access to right now. So yeah, it's happening.